Hey everybody, it's Joe with Carbon Marine. I was walking this morning, I could smell it in the air. My favorite time of year is just around the corner. It's coming into fall and then into winter. And I'm a Floridian, Keys born, grew up in Tampa, but this heat's been oppressive. Like, I'm ready for some cooler weather because it makes the hunting better, it makes the fishing a lot better. But there's a few tactics, there's a few techniques that you need to be aware of when you're fishing in cooler water and in cooler air temperatures. Usually run one and the same. Water's cool, air temperature is probably cool too. And if I could just boil it down to two words that's really, really, really simple, but so powerful that a lot of people miss. When it's cooler, when the water's cooler, when the air's cooler, slow down. It's not a race. Sight fishing, fishing the flats, fly fishing for redfish, fly fishing for snook, sight fishing for snook, whether you're using a spinning rod or a fly rod, all of these activities is a stealth game. You are hunting more than fishing. You want to see the fish most times. Some people don't, but I do. I want to see them. So to be productive on the flats when it's cold, when the air's cold, when the water's cold, first you have to understand the physics of what's going on. The fish are going to be a product of the temperature. Cooler water, they're going to be slower. Their metabolism's going to slow down. They're going to respond in a more subdued manner. And I got a quick story I'll tell you about a trip to Louisiana a few years ago that's just mind-boggling. But slow down. And when it comes to push poling, you're going to use very subtle. You're not honking down. The last thing you want to do is have a redfish that's content because he's sitting in a warm little eddy of flow or sunshine, and he's sitting there and he's trying to stay warm and he's happy, and all of a sudden, you come kind of rushing in there and the boat sends off a bow wave. Or you're what I would call the animated caster. You start this, and what's happening is you're transferring energy to the left and to the right along the center line of the boat, and the boat does this, and it's sending out a broadcast going, I'm over here, and that pressure wave, when it's dead calm and cold and the water's dense and the water's clear, you're going to spook fish. You're going to destroy every opportunity you have to stealthily make a cast and bring that fly or bring that shrimp or whatever you're using back in front of him without him knowing you're there. The key to successful cool weather, cold weather fishing is slow down. If you think you're going too slow, slower. You can't go too slow. You just go slow. The faster you go, you're also missing inputs. You're missing, the little tip of the tail that sticks up because the fish is laid up or he's feeding, right? Slow down. So to emphasize this point, I was in Louisiana, it was like 10 or 11 years ago with some friends fishing. It was wicked cold. The air temperature was in the 20s. I mean, it was really cold. For me, a Florida boy, I was freezing. And, it got sunny, but it didn't get warm. And the water was, I don't know, maybe in the 40s, super, super cold. And we're pulling along the grass, and we see a redfish. We thought he was dead, but he was upright. He wasn't on his side. He was upright. His eyes were open. His mouth was sort of open. And he's just catatonic. He's just sitting there, stoic. And we made a joke like, oh, let's catch that one. So I cast, and I pull the fly in front of him. He doesn't even look at it. Doesn't even see it. No reaction. I do it again, no reaction. We do that for like 10 minutes, nothing. And then I made a joke. I'm like, well, I'm just going to force feed him. So I put the fly right at the tip of the rod, and we pulled slowly up to him. And I literally stuck the fly in his mouth and then stepped back. And when I stepped back, he slowly, like a stone crab claw, slowly closed his mouth. And I was able to set the hook. And there wasn't a fight. I was basically just towed him to the boat. But he was just catatonic. Like, that's what cold weather does to all of these species. It slows them down. So if you want to be successful, particularly in your poling technique, slow, very subtle, slow movements. And that's going to force you to also observe more. It's kind of like frame rate with filming. The faster the frame rate, the more you can slow it down. As we're poling, the slower you go, the more you can take in. It's kind of an inverse relationship. But poling in cold water, poling in the fall, go slow, go quiet, use the tip, don't use the foot. You don't need a lot of energy. Just barely get the boat. And it also makes the boat easier to stop, because for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. So if you're going through there like a damn race car, you got to slow that thing down if you run into a fish, and that's going to cause commotion and disrupt the fish. So cold weather, cool weather, clear water, go slow. Whether it's poling, whether it's casting, be deliberate about your movements, be intentional, be stealthy.